Hi everyone, this is Kim. It's late at night and I've been reading some really interesting information about conscious loving and what that means in relationship. If you've read some of my posts before, you'll know that I am a relationship coach and I focus on working with women in midlife who are wanting to improve their relationships, save their relationship with their long-term partners, or improve what they have, even if it's not on the brink of separation. And so I've been reading a lot about conscious loving and what that means. And I think midlife is a time when being conscious of our relationship and our life is really important. Basically, midlife's a time when we have a lot of past that's happened and not as much future in front of us. And so, what I wanted to talk about as part of being what conscious constitutes is being present. So, really being present in the moment. And the more present we are with our partners, the more intimacy that develops and is able to develop. It's really interesting when we think about it that a lot of the time in today's hurriedness and our lives with jobs and other responsibilities, we just aren't very present. We're not very present with ourselves. We're not very present with our partners. So I'm first just going to read a list of some of those those circumstances that are evidence to show that we're not present. And then to give one really simple idea and action that we can take to enable us to become more present in the moment. Again, not just with ourselves, but with our partners. So first, just to read some of the lists of what those areas of distraction or not being present are in a relationship. You can see if any of these resonate with you in your daily life with your partner. They certainly do with me. Some of them caught me off guard, but here's a list. First thing is people don't actually face each other fully when communicating. That's interesting because with my husband, there are often times where we aren't facing each other and really talking to each other face to face, looking at each other. So that's one way that we're not present. Another is attention skips like a pebble over a pond. So it never really lands either inside one partner or with the other. So there'll be this talking and communicating that happens, but we're really just not paying attention. It doesn't land with our partner. He or she doesn't hear it, and we don't hear what our partner says either. Here's another one. Partners are multitasking their attention, giving only a trickle to the other in the midst of tasks and lists. You know, we all have, at this point, most people have cell phones and other things that can distract us. And how much time do we really try to multitask, do something else while we're talking to our partner? That's losing our attention, right? Or dispersing our attention. We're not giving our full presence to our partner. Let's see, another one. Couples interpret and respond to gestures or looks as if they're real without noticing that their own attention is creating the meaning. So that's interesting. We're not really paying attention to what the gestures are or looks of our partner. We're just looking at it and interpreting and paying attention to how we react. So we're really within ourselves. We're not really looking at and paying attention to what our partners are meaning or intending by showing the gestures or giving us the looks that they do. Let's see, another one. Oh, here's a pretty common one, right? A sign of not being attentive or not being present is when we say things like "in a minute" or "when I'm done," right? Those sorts of statements have taken precedence over the primary commitment to give attention to your partner. You know, just hang on a minute, I'll be there in a second. I'll do that. I'll be with you in a minute when I'm done, right? There's a lot of that being distracted by something else. Another example is one partner retreats back inside and won't give attention, or gives attention in a very stingy way or in very stingy doses, right? So that we're not giving attention to each other for very long. It's just a few moments at a time, and then we're on to the next thing. And I think this is a really interesting one, and I didn't think of this as a way that we lose attention or get out of presence. And that's when one partner gets completely absorbed in the other, losing awareness of what he or she is actually experiencing and wanting. So I don't know if that happens to you, or if you see that happening with others around you, where one partner really gets absorbed in the other, and they're all about the other partner and talking about him or her, and there's not a lot of individuality of themselves that comes out, right? They're completely absorbed by the other partner. And that's interesting to think of as evidence of not being present. So those are different lists, or that's a list of different qualities that show us that we're inattentive, right? That we're not paying attention, that we're not being present. So basically, the one strategy I was going to mention that I think is really helpful and very simple is to basically, and the gateway to presencing, right, is to basically get curious, right? To be curious. And a way to be curious is curious appreciation, I guess is the way to say it. So to be curious in the moment with our partner, that is one way in our conversations with our partner that we can become more present. So the one way to help you be curious is to really, to ask a question. But to state before that question, just tell yourself, just stop for a second and go and say, what, and then ask a question, right? So here's some examples. I wonder how I can appreciate your point of view right now. Or, I wonder how I can create something new in this interaction. Another one is, I wonder what I can value about you in this moment. And the last one is, I wonder how I can listen to what you really want. So those are ways, those are certain questions to ask that help you get present with your partner. But always prefacing your statement or your question with that moment of contemplation and just going, that moment of curiosity, being curious. What's a question I can ask that brings curiosity, that I can be curious about? And that helps us in the moment get more present with our partners. So that's it. That's my words of wisdom tonight about presencing, and really want to explain and show that and let you know that presencing is really key. That if we can be, the more we can be present with our partner, the more that differences and misinterpretations go away. They disperse. They disappear. The more we can be present. So that's it. Those are my words for tonight, and I thank you for listening, and I will talk with you next time. Thank you. Good night, everyone.